What's up, people in the place to be? Welcome to Fire Optics, your number one cast for hearing the fire that you missed throughout the week, the conversations that other people don't talk about. To my left on the screens is the homie James.
What's going on, fam?
And down below us is Frico Suave.
Hola.
So this week, gentlemen, it started off kind of a slow news week, I think. I don't know if you agree with that, but things were kind of like, Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion here. A little bit of playoff basketball there, whatever. But then Trump started tripping by the end of the week. And then once again, Joe Biden had to open his dumb butt and say something that and like we said last week, for those of you who didn't listen to the podcast last week, I made the analogy that if this politics is like 3-on-3 basketball, what you don't need Joe Biden to do is to turn the ball over. He doesn't have to score, but his plus minus should be about 0. That should be his plus minus. It shouldn't be negative. But this week his plus minus was negative. But then Trump is out here wilding again. So, James, I think you have more detailed info on what went down with Trump and what he's presuming. And just for the record, I'm not going to say James is pro-Trump, but he doesn't – I'm not going to speak for the man, but let's put it like this. James is on one side. I'm kind of in the middle, and Rishi's on the other side. So what's up, James? What you got?
Yeah, so basically, like I said, I'm not pro-Trump. I don't like neither candidate. I don't think neither one is going to be good for the Black community or the nation as a whole. But I'm just on the side that sees the storm coming, and I see Trump winning again. And when you look at it, 1.3 million people did file for unemployment this week, right? And they still fighting over a stimulus packet that neither side can come to an agreement on. But that hurts the Democrats more, because you got a Republican or you got Trump in office who now signs these executive orders to stop the payroll tax, stop on, release unemployment benefits. You know what I mean? So he's looking like he is delivering for the American people right now. Whereas Democrats are looking like all they can do is argue. And then, like you said, Biden can't get out of his own way. And so that's just the perfect storm for him to win. And like I said,
just for the record, Biden said this week that blacks lack the diversity of Latinos, which is totally crazy because, as we all know, Latinos derive from blacks. That's how you, and from Aborigines or Native Americans on this side of the world. So, I mean, oh my gosh.
To me, when I look at it, it just shows me what I fear the most is how out of touch, they are with the Black race. And how do you expect them to do anything beneficial for us when they have no clue? They've been privileged their whole lives. So, it's just a scary time. I can't see a way Biden's going to win.
I still believe, my bad, Flacco, but one second, I still believe Biden's plus minus right now is about a -10. Trump's plus minus is about -30. So hopefully other people see that. But Flacco, what you think? Frico.
No, man. Of course I disagree with James because so here's the thing.
You disagree because there's an emotional connection you have with it.
Emotional.
Let me break it down. Let me break it down. So there's the payroll tax breaks, right? Initially it seemed very brilliant, like a smart strategy played by Trump. Machiavellian, fucking just doing what he has to do to win.
Mm-hmm.
But even within the past 2 days, like people are starting to realize that, or they're catching on to the fact that that payroll tax is the biggest source of funding for Social Security, for Medicare, Medicaid. And once people start figuring that out, they're going to have a different reaction. So in effect, this whole thing is like political deception, and it creates a situation where two of the biggest issues for conservatives, like which are Social Security, welfare, Medicare, whatever, they can knock that out, and they can knock out payroll tax at the same time. It's like a double whammy for them. And the fact that they think they can get away with it, I think is because people are not informed about the fact that it's going to affect their Medicare, their Social Security. We've been paying into that their entire lives. I mean, so it's money here for money there. What do you want to do? Like, that's.
Well, I hear you, but we're a country of right now.
Right. No. So here's what I'm saying. So when I'm reading about this, I'm saying that the liberals need to really communicate more effectively and explain this stuff to people, because older voters that rely on these programs, I mean, I think they turn on Trump because it's going to affect them personally.
Let me ask you a question, Frico.
Yeah.
Is my personal belief that the reason why you don't see a lot of liberals and Democrats holding the Republicans' feet to the fire is not because they're on the wrong side of the issues, but because they know they do some of the same politically corrupt, dirty stuff that the Republicans are doing. So it's like the cop thing. I can't really call you out because it will collapse. I feel like it's going to collapse our whole thing.
Right.
Picking
Even
out
the defund word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So eventually, I'm going to be the bad apple because I'm doing some of the same corrupt stuff they're doing as far as lobbyists and taking money and all that kind of stuff. So,
well, my point is this: they're not the same. They're different. One's way worse than the other, and that it needs to be focused on more than focusing on how shitty Biden is and he says dumb shit.
Here's what I think. What I've always felt is that the reason I give a lot of credence to James' argument is because Trump is playing on the ignorance of America, which is prevalent.
Yeah, and that's why he might win.
Way more ignorant white folk than N-words in this country. Let's keep it real. Just look, and I'm just talking about stats, data. Right. You know what I'm saying? And he knows to play to their ignorance. Hey, they're trying to overtax you. That's all you're going to see in these infomercials. Tax. They're not going to hear, even if you mention to them about Social Security and Medicaid, and you're taking away from something that you built up your whole life, they're not going to hear that. All they're going to hear is, oh, you're saying these hot button topics, because that's what they say, these pundits say on Fox News. Those are just hot button topics. They're just trying to scare you. They're fear mongering. They just really just want to overtax you and blah, blah, blah. So that's my thing. When James says he thinks Trump is going to win for those reasons, I have to say that's kind of valid based on the audience that we're talking about. We're not talking about a very honorable audience, if I'm going to keep it funky, how I believe.
Right. So that's why we should communicate these issues to them.
How are you going to win over the races?
Well, I think it affects them personally when they're not getting their checks. And it's overwhelmingly like older white people that are voting for Trump, and they are definitely getting Social Security, definitely getting Medicaid or Medicare. So it affects them personally, and if they understand that it affects them personally, and it's communicated to them in the right way, maybe something better than what we cynics think is going to happen will happen. That's my take.
Yeah, I mean, we're just in a bad way, and the worst part about it is, you can't really voice your opinion for either one because you don't know what either one is talking about. Instead of this week,
I know what one's talking about.
Well, yeah, but instead of hearing about what Biden is planning for the country this week, we get Biden, talking about diversity in the African American community. You
The
know,
lack of.
the lack of, and I'm like, man, to stay focused on what you plan on doing for the country. And every time I get,
Let's get back to that. That has to be one of the dumbest things. Stupidest is not a word that I've ever heard. First of all,
I didn't actually hear the clip.
oh my God. So just verbatim, Frico, just verbatim. Basically, what he said is the Black community lacks the diversity of the Latino community. Now, let's separate that into categories, okay? First of all, I think we're more diverse than the Latino community because they work in a more homogenous fashion where they're all kind of on the same wave as far as their cultures are concerned. Look, I'm from Durham, North Cac. My father grew up in what's called the Alley, rough part of Durham. They were all over East Durham, all this kind of stuff. Here's my point. This dude grew up, and I didn't grow up in the rough part of town like he did. He did, but there were still cousins and aunts of his who were staunch Ronald Reagan voters, who were staunch this and that as far as thinking is concerned. And then you have just the look of it. You got light skinned and Black people in the same family. That's not diversity. When you have people who look totally different from it, you've been to family reunions, James.
mm-hmm.
You'd be like, dang, I wish that was my cousin back in the day. but because it looked like some exotic chick from whatever, you're like, you're my cousin? You look like you're from dang Puerto Rico. There's so much I don't like. And here's my thing, Frico. He says stuff that you can't say. He says stuff that you eliminate voters. He like the thing, you're not really Black if you don't vote for me.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. He says dumb shit, and he should, every time he opens his mouth, he's probably losing 100,000 votes. I'm not sure.
Trump is really smart. Unfortunately, he may be this smart. But if he was really smart, go and do a debate with this dude. Because there's more likelihood that he's going to step on his toes and anger his base than you. Trump really can't say anything to anger his base.
No. If you see some of the YouTube clips of they go talk about Trump and they be at them rallies, they don't even know this dude, man. I don't care what he say. He's still my friend.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, man, come on. But some of these people, man, they just die hard Trump. And you're not going to get it. And it's a bigger base than people realize. And
I'm just saying one is worse than the other.
Okay, see here, Frico, once again, here's the argument. We know Trump is worse. We know he's schizo, he's nefarious, he's narcissistic, he's all these things. That has nothing to do with whether or not he will win. That was always my thing. Yeah, he's a jerk. I don't like him. I wish bad things to happen to the man, to be honest. Not that, but as far as politically his career.
Right.
But that has nothing to do with the fact that I think that he might win because he has a better strategy than Biden.
I can't argue with that at all. I mean,
he's
been doing it right.
That's why I'm saying to these supporters of Biden who are like hating on Trump, I keep telling them, yo, you need to be a better proponent of Biden. And hating on Trump is not going to help you, because the dudes that rock with Trump,
right?
Yeah, you ain't. There is no swing vote with Trump.
Huh?
Yeah. There is no swing vote with Trump.
Yeah, there's not. You need to convince James and myself.
There was in 2016, but not this year. I don't think.
No.
You need to convince James and myself that it's worth going out there to vote for Biden. And people of like minds who look at these two and see that they're both just basically insane, and give people, that's what I told somebody in the group chat before. You have to galvanize the vote. And this person was like, that's not a big thing in politics. I'm like, that's all politics is.
Yeah.
At this point, he can galvanize the vote by just stop talking.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'll give you the real reason why I'm really worried about the vote. Right, every year you have some celebrities, some people going behind the Democratic Party saying, we support them. I put my support behind this guy and that guy. I just haven't seen it yet. You know what I'm saying? No sports figures, no music figures, no actors, no actresses, no other political people. You know what I'm saying? Where's Obama? You know what I mean? We under 100 days before the election.
Obama already came out for
No.
about.
No, you need Obama out there.
You don't
You
see him.
need Obama talking for him.
Yeah, he needs to be more aggressive. I agree.
But we're not seeing that. So if I had to tell my family, or I'm having a meeting with my family, like, oh guys, who are you voting for, right? Like all families should be sitting down and deciding what's best for the family, right? And who to elect and exercising your vote. Man, it's a hard decision. It's hard to say vote for Biden. It's because Trump is obviously worse, but we don't. This dude is saying stuff he has no reason to say. He's not qualified to say the shit that he's saying. So I don't even know why he's talking about what he's talking about. And that scares me even more because I don't know what if he does get in office, what he's really going to think. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a bad situation. But man,
we already know what he thinks, man. I think that I don't know this one.
Frico, to your point, let's lead this into our next news topic.
Yeah,
which you had already discussed with us. Yeah, who's going to run with Biden? That was what you mentioned earlier this week. So I'll let you start off, Rico. Because I have a wild card pick that she could save. We know it's going to be a woman, and we know it's going to be a black woman from what we've been told. Who's going to save the day, Frico?
I don't know, but there's one that I like more than the others. Susan Rice. Like she seems like she was the smartest person in the room, in every room she's ever been in her entire life. If you just watch her, and at this point, we need someone intelligent and real, and that understands empathy. So I'm a fan, and not to take away from the other candidates. Kamala Harris, Bass, Warren. Well, I'm not even sure if Warren's in it, but she just seems like she's on a different level. But who knows, man? Like a day is like a year now at this point.
I like Susan Rice sometimes. She said some iffy stuff in the past, but she's not it. She's not the person to bring up. Who you got, James? I'll go last.
There's only one woman that I think can take Biden over the top.
Wait, hold on. You about to say who I'm about to say? I can tell the way you look setting up. Hold on. You better not say what I'm about to say. Hold on. Go ahead. Who is it?
I don't think we're on the same wavelength.
Go ahead. Who you got?
Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama.
I would support that.
Yo, F you. You stealing my stuff.
Hey. We want to think alike. But that's the only one.
That's the only thing that could.
The only one that's going to get him in office.
Yo. That's how you galvanize
them. I mean, I think that's a fact.
And Frico, straight up, we didn't even discuss this. James honestly didn't talk about this.
Yeah, we never talked about this at all.
That's crazy.
I talked about it.
I think you guys are right, though. I mean, if she got the VP nomination, it would be over.
You know what? Here's another one of my analogies. World Series, bottom of the ninth, bases are loaded. Biden is the home team. Trump's up the bat. He's down. All right. You got 2 outs. The pitcher you had on the mound just gave up a home run. You got to get somebody out the bullpen. Michelle Obama is Mariano Rivera.
Exactly.
Don't get that shit down. Don't get one of these middle relievers. Don't get Mariano Rivera. That's what we need to close this game out right now. And Frico.
Yeah, that would be a closer for sure. I agree.
Like anything else is you're gonna be rolling the dice.
Yeah, she's the only one
rolling the dice.
That will get the black woman vote, the black people vote, but especially black women.
Black people out. Black people will vote for Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Like that's the weird part about all this. Within our culture, Some people have had some things to say about Obama on the negative side, which I agree with. I personally don't feel like you did enough for black people when you were in office. That doesn't mean that I disregard your whole, your whole legacy and all that. I'm not doing that. But amongst black people that I know that we talk to, nobody shits on Michelle Obama.
Yeah.
Everybody's got everybody. That's a real ass chick.
Even most of the white people that I know, like they love her too.
They're right with Michelle, and even the ones that don't like her respect her.
Yeah.
That's key.
I mean, she did so much for the community, man. I mean, she did a lot of work for the community. That probably people don't know or didn't see in the background, especially with young people and children.
Now, what is going to happen is, if that was even brought up, the media is going to say, or excuse me, some naysayers will probably say, no, it can't be her. She doesn't have a history in politics, which is why this is the perfect time to do it, because Trump didn't have a history in politics.
Yeah.
So when you compare their careers, you got one she's a lawyer, right?
She's more qualified, easily.
She's more qualified.
Exactly. So that throws that discussion out the window. Michelle Obama, and I saw on the news earlier today that she said she's suffering from mild depression. That's because nobody respects you, baby girl. You need to take back your throne. Biden may not last.
I mean, I like it. I like this. I like it where it's going. That would be great.
You might not, man. He old, man. I'm telling you.
Because he be saying crazy stuff.
He's from that era. He's from that,
From that era, the baby boomer era?
The civil rights and, that's a long, he's 74, man. When you get up there in age, man, leadership is hard, man.
So did anyone have anything else in news to discuss? I think we got a lot accomplished right now.
Yeah. Man, I got to touch on this coronavirus thing, man.
Oh, here we go.
Man, you know what I'm saying? The
worst thing. You asked before you started talking about it, sucker.
Man, it's in the car, man. It's in the car, man. I'm in my house.
Really about that life, you wear it in the house.
No, I ain't wearing no house. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, do you wear you're not one of these people that wear it in the car, are you?
Huh? No.
You're not one of these people that wear it in the car, are you? Those crazy people.
Man, only time I put it on, man, is when I'm walking by people, man.
Outside?
If I'm going like into Walmart or Target.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. But
I just got a scarf, man. And
so here, even outside, you're kind of shamed if you don't wear it, like downtown.
Oh, good, because you're in a liberal area. That's why.
Yeah.
Or like that, small,
So give us our coronavirus. The world is going in updates.
I don't see the world going in,
we
man.
call him James Stradamus.
If you want to know, let me ask me. But what I said was going to happen, man. 100 kids got quarantined in Mississippi this week, man. Out of that 100, man, 19 teachers at the school was to have the virus. Had to shut the whole school down, man. You got some places. I have to give kudos to what's his name, Ngomo, the New York governor.
Yeah. I thought he opened up schools.
But for being as hard as he was, you know what I'm saying?
So that gave him the ability to open them up.
You know what I'm saying? Because now their rates went down. You know what I mean? So he kept everything, stationary for a while, And, I looked at what the mayor of Atlanta was saying. I forgot her name. But, she urged her people to stay home. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Because in Georgia is rising. And so you look at these cases and it's just not wise to open up schools. And, now when I look at kids, over 100 kids got quarantined. I'm thinking, man, that was my kid, man. I'd be wanting to go grab my kid away from there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they quarantine, and it's just, it's just a sad day, man. I just tell people, usually I try to give advice on what to do, but today I'm just gonna be like, man, just stay home.
Basically.
Yeah.
And her name is hold on, Keisha Lance Bottoms. I forgot her name too for a second. But here's the problem in politics when you have because there's levels to it. So her governor Kemp, there's a lot of stuff that she's getting pushback on, but he may he may be forced now into acknowledging the severity of it. Because did you all see that clip this week of the young lady who had videotaped the hallway in her school, super packed, super crowded, just like a
Oh
regular.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
like a regular
yeah,
school day.
Yeah, right. And okay,
Got
and
suspended, right?
they suspended her, but they took away the suspension and apologized
It was stupid as hell.
because of course a few kids caught the corona the very
Yeah, on day
What do
one.
you
Yeah,
what do you think was going to happen?
because but here's the whole thing. It relates back to Trump and just this narcissistic bonehead knucklehead. You know what we need to call it? Who was that dude from Back to the Future? Biff. Just
yeah.
this Biff mentality of I'm gonna do what I want to do, no
What's
matter.
up, Bloodhead?
That movie, I'm sorry, that dude was a little rapey for my taste. I watched it with my daughter. I was like, hey man, you ever got like this? Let me know. I'm gonna pull that. But anyway, point being, Kemp, governor of Georgia, outside of Atlanta, we all know is super redneck.
Yeah,
He has to play to that base. He
Yes.
Even if he feels and believes that we should all be wearing masks and this and that, he's not going to get reelected because you got the people, the higher ups, not saying what needs to be said. So this is where politics. I mean, I don't want to say shouldn't be leading America, but when it comes to stuff like this, obviously it shouldn't, because people have to. You got to play the game in order to make sure you get reelected, which means you really can't say what you want to say all the time. And this and that is just, it seems to be too much fault in the system when real shit happens.
Yeah, right when we needed the most, they get more divisive.
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's simple. You know, it's like when I told my son was born, right? He was born super early, right? And the doctor came up to me and she was giving me all these options, right? And I said, look, I do logistics. If you want me to tell you how to run this hospital and keep it running, got it. What you're telling me is foreign to me. So I got to trust you to give me the best advice of what needs to be done for my son. And trust that you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Politics should be no different. You know, you got a medical profession. You got a CDC rep. You got people who are telling you, hey, don't open up. Hey, take it slow. And you're going to go against that. To me, I would stop voting for you because of that.
Exactly. So I mean, like this is. I mean, yeah, it's a cult of Trump, whatever. But I'm saying that ideologically, they want kids to go back to school so that their parents can go back to work and be productive and add to GDP. They care about that more than the lives of the kids or the parents or the grandparents. And that just seems like it's a fact. And it's disappointing.
Yeah, it's I mean, people can't vote for you if they're dead.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes back to Social Security and Medicare stuff. It's like once they find out that their payroll tax is actually funding the programs that Roosevelt created,
See,
that they rely on it every day. They rely on these checks. So once it hits you personally, I'm hoping that
Frico,
people will change their mind.
you be talking all intelligent and stuff.
Yeah, I wearing my smart hat today.
You be talking about like somebody that went to like a 4-year college and graduated and got their masters and stuff.
Yeah, man. I know what you're talking about.
No, I know. What you know what I'm saying, but you're
Yeah.
not ignorant, James. We're talking about ignorant people, and that's why I'm saying if Biden wants to win, you got to pull. Michelle Obama is the big joker. All right. Was it Kamala Harris? Who's the half black hat? Kamala, is that what's her name?
Yeah, that's my grandmother's name too.
She's like a queen of spades.
Yeah,
you can pull it, but it doesn't guarantee you gonna win.
Yeah.
Susan Rice, she's like a queen because she's not as popular as some of these other candidates. Elizabeth Warren, she's more like an ace because I think black people trust her a little bit more than people realize. But that's why you got to pull out that big joker, man, and lay
I
it
just hope
down.
it's
I
their
would love that, man. I
strategy
would love it.
to wait to the last moment to get enough motivation and momentum that it doesn't die before the election day.
Yes, the timing is everything, James. That's right.
Yeah.
But how do you time it during this time? Who knows?
I ain't a
The world's
politician,
different.
campaign manager, man. This is crazy, but I hope that that's what happens. But if he comes out of the woodworks with some chick from out of nowhere who nobody don't know, some governor or something like that from Minnesota, or
Klobuchar.
if he does that, man, I'm closing up camp, man. It's a wrap. You got Trump for another 4
That's
years.
the thing, man. Michelle Obama is the only one that people really do know. She and Elizabeth Warren. Anybody else is kind of.
Yeah, I can see Elizabeth Warren pulling the do for him.
We should get this trending on Twitter. Michelle Obama for the.
I'm sure we're not the first persons to discuss it, but
No,
it's
we gotta get it. We gotta get the movement going.
Yeah, we'll put it on YouTube tagline.
It's interesting that it has not been brought up. So maybe she's going ahead and put it out there that there's no way possible that I'm going to do this. But if you ever get a chance to see this podcast, Michelle Obama, let me look you in the eye. Baby girl, you could save the world. It may be up to you.
Please.
Really? It really may be up to you.
Also, I'm in love with you.
Do we have any other news
Michelle
stories
Obama.
before we get into entertainment?
No. Let's rock.
What you got, James? You look like you got something you want to talk about.
Nah, y'all go for it, man. I'm gonna let Frico bring this one in.
All right, Frico, what you got? Entertainment. Let's go.
Entertainment. What? So let's go to. Are we talking about sports entertainment?
Entertainment as far as Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion dropped.
Oh, okay. I saw the video.
I know you watched it, man.
Is your name
I think it
Frico or
was
not? We
one
can
of the
talk about something.
It was one of the most raw videos in terms of lyrics, but also the best videos in terms of artistic brilliance. I mean, it's up there, man. I like it. I'm gonna watch it again right after this podcast.
Is it borderline porn or is it just?
Yeah. Well, the lyrics, man, they just go, they don't hold back.
Now, what about this theory that or not?
They're
Theory.
like, I like guys with big dicks, and then I felt offended by that.
Just say. You need to say pause. What'd you just say?
No, they did in the actual thing. They talk about how the lyrics, man. They're like, it's not the motion of the ocean. It's actually the size of the boat.
Here's how you word this. They said they like guys with big dicks. You don't say I said. You don't say I like guys with big dicks, no matter who said.
No, they said they said this right in the video, and
somebody can edit this.
I'm just saying I was making a self-deprecating joke, but it's fucking the video. I think it's awesome. I think it's artistic. It's not for everyone. Like I would not show my kids, obviously.
Here's the biggest question, Frico, that everybody wants to know. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Big question. How many squirts of lotion?
Just ran out yesterday. I don't know. Can't quantify this one. No, but it's. I mean, the video. I mean, the video is artistic, but the words that are said, if you just read the lyrics, it's crazy.
It is. Oh, you read the lyrics?
Well, I mean, I heard them, then I read them just to make sure I heard what I was hearing. It's like, what?
Do us a favor.
They got a petition, right, to take a girl off that video.
Who? Oh, Jenna?
Yeah.
Why? Because no one likes her. She sucks.
Why?
They all got fake bodies. I don't know why.
Yeah, why?
Because she's a Kardashian curse.
Yeah. I thought it was weird. Like
one question while just in my mind about Meg Thee Stallion. Does anyone ever talk about the fact that she stole her whole style from Bun B? Did she pay him homage at all? Because she took his whole rap style. It's like Action Bronson and Ghostface. You know, I took your whole style. Did she ever mention that? Like, shout out to Bun B for giving me life? She doesn't?
No.
Did y'all ever think about that?
I forgot how she came into the industry.
I didn't know about that.
Oh, she's straight. Listen to her cadence and the way she felt. It's all Bun B.
Yeah.
It's straight Bun B.
No, you're not the first person I heard say that either. But I
Okay,
forgot
okay.
the industry, man.
I do remember Action Bronson. The first time I heard him, he sounded just like Ghostface.
And we'll talk about Action later because you know what, I'm that situation played itself out the way it was supposed to. Ghostface checked him big time. Papa Wu talked to him at somebody's funeral, got him in line. That kind of thing would never come out his mouth again. But I
Yeah, he
gotta
seems
say one
cool.
thing about Action Bronson, man. No matter how you feel about that dude, we'll talk about it later. That dude will drop a banger every year, at least one that I'll play over and over again for like a week. He'll drop one of those every year. He is a great, and we need to have this conversation again later on because we had it before, we didn't air it. He is one of the top beat selectors in rap nowadays, even now. But we'll talk about that later. Back to the video.
What do you guys think?
Hmm?
What do you guys think? What was your take? Tell me what you. Are the kids around? Just tell them to go away. Tell me what you thought of the video.
No, I mean, to me, it's like this, right? I didn't see the art in it that you saw in it, right?
I mean, like there's literally like nice works of art that were surrounding them when they were naked.
It was a well put together video. It was a well put together soft porn video,
Good
right?
production value.
Yeah, good production, right? They got money, they can do that. You know what I'm saying? Nice tigers and everything, but this is my thing, right? There is nothing in music now that I can show my kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I got 3 daughters, so I look at things a little bit differently now, right?
Yeah. On my
Yeah.
You know
Same here, man.
And we grew up listening to hip hop. I'm a hip hop junkie. You know what I'm saying? Just straight up hip
Well,
hop
we had 2 Live Crew.
from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And even though we had Little Kim and Foxy in the 90s, you know what I'm
2
saying?
Live Crew. Yeah.
Yeah, like you know, we had all that, but we still had a whole other volume of music where, you know, you didn't feel uncomfortable around your mom listening to it.
And I think
Yeah.
that James is saying is that when we grew up, our parents weren't listening to rap. They were listening to songs that they felt automatically they can play in front of us based on society's uh, vision of it and what have you.
Right.
Whereas we are still rap fans and we have to actually, as all of us are fathers, all of us have multiple kids. We actually have to, and we all have daughters. We actually have to think about the rap that we're going to play in the car.
Oh, 100%.
I got to
Yeah.
preview everything before I let my kids hear it. And it's interesting because there is some like that's something my daughter will never see or hear that song if it's up to me. It's not going,
Yeah.
you know, I'm never going to introduce her to that. But
You
that
know,
leads us
the
to our
song-
next topic of entertainment. Beyonce is king. So I watched that I watched about half of it. I couldn't watch the whole thing with my wife.
I didn't see it yet.
Okay. I will say this. What it does is it outlines the story of Lion King, but more in like this musical Beyonce, uh, Big Willie style kind of way. And I think it's very, very well done. But to that point that we just mentioned, I'm not letting my 10-year-old daughter watch the video. And people may be like, oh, you're being whatever, that's Beyonce. And she was a little bit more classy this time. But there's still moments where she's got on the skin tight, whatever. And to me, as a parent, I can't allow my daughter of a certain age to look at any video where they're doing something that's a sexual move.
Yeah,
Like,
agreed.
you know what I'm saying? If I'm,
Yeah.
like Rick Ross,
Dude,
but when
so
you start to, when you
so
start
like
punching, I'm
yeah,
like,
no, guys, my daughter,
uh-oh.
Frico Jr. apparently she's like a few months back before the pandemic Like she was like at my place. She started twerking. I'm like, where the fuck did you? And so like I don't. So I'm divorced. For those of you that don't know, so I don't know what goes on at the house, but my jaw was on the floor. I didn't really know how to handle it. I'm like, just don't do that, please. It's like, what do I mean?
I mean,
I can't really manage it.
You know, my daughter's is it's scary because just the name of the song. Like I didn't know what WAP meant. I had an idea.
I still have no idea. What does it mean?
Wet ass pussy. Sorry.
Oh, that makes sense. It all makes sense now. It all makes
You know what I'm
sense.
saying? You know how impressionable kids are. So I can't have my kids run around the house about whack, 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 whack. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just enough is enough. Like we got it. Like, is that the only
I
thing?
think we're on the same page with this one.
But here's the thing. Excuse me, another thing. So why were Italian Americans trying to get mad about the name when it's actually pronounced WAP? Is that how it's pronounced, James?
No, I think it's whack. Yeah, whack.
I think a lot of them were trying to say it's WAP, and they were trying to act mad about it today.
Who?
Yeah, whatever.
Italian Americans. They thought it was saying WAP because WAP is a derogatory term for Italian. So
It's not what the acronym means. So
I know, but they thought the pronunciation was WAP and not WAP, and I was being person in education, phonetically, I sounded out it is what app. That's WAP.
that might be wrong.
Okay.
It
You
might be wrong.
sounded it out.
I sounded it out. It spelled WAP to me.
So that Parkway education shining through. All right. Anything else in entertainment, gentlemen? Any other stories tickle your fancy?
Nah, nothing else, man. Everybody going crazy over that video, man. I just, you know, for the fellas, it's a good one to take a shot to. Hoorah. Man, we got to produce better music in our community, man.
I mean, we do. Let's move on to before we get into sports. Let's move on to music. So last week I didn't mention it, but we try to have we're gonna try to have recommendations for music, like real music, every week. I can tell you right now, a little known Freddie Gibbs, some producer. I will look it up right now.
DJ Drama.
No, not DJ Drama. This is Machine Drum with Freddie Gibbs. It's called Cane Train, and that thing
slaps. I heard that. That was awesome.
You heard that? So you heard the one I put in the group chat. You played that?
Yeah.
Yes. I got it from there, and then I played it again a couple of times.
That thing is hard.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's my thing. Like there is a lot of. I mean, Freddie Gibbs, I don't play in front of my kids. Let's go back to that conversation real quick. I'm sorry before we move on to new music. Rappers out there, let me look right in the camera. All you rappers, please, you come out with your album. Also, come out with the edited version so I can play some of that fire in front of my kids.
Amen.
Do it. I'm going to play it even if it doesn't, unless it's like Griselda. I can't play Griselda in front of my kids unless it's like Pray for Paris's French Toast. I don't know if you all know that song, but that's the one song that West Side Gun did is like a love song that's kind of poppy. But other than that, I love listening to Griselda all the time. I can't play that in front of my kids, even if it's edited. But for the rest of y'all dudes that come out with this heat, like Logic came out with his album, he always comes out with the edited version, which always means I'm going to end up putting, as parents, that's going to end up being in my riding around rotation, not because I'm the biggest Logic fan, but because he's the one that put out the album with the clean version.
Yeah, you know? Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to get edited version nowadays. Like
you have to kind of search for it. Actually, you got to put in the album, and it won't pop up. Like I use Tidal, Black owned. I use Tidal. So when I go into Tidal and look for a specific album, the edited version will not automatically pop up when I go to that album when it's first put on the platform and they're trying to get the views or whatever. You're not going to see it then. You got to actually type it in, look it up, and then it'll give all the versions of the album, and then you can pick the edited one. So, but anyway, yeah, Freddie Gibbs dropped that Lucy, that was fire. I'm still listening to a little bit of Logic. Lupe's album is starting to grow on me. It took a little while because Lupe is so. You got to be in a certain mind space for Lupe. You got to be ready to digest lyrics and content that is not easy to get the first time around normally. But I actually enjoyed his album over his EP over time. And there was one more who had a banger. Oh yeah, Action Bronson. I didn't put that in the group chat, but this Latin Grammys thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I played. Did I send that to you?
Yeah.
Oh, them horns hit, boy. Oh my god. Anyway.
DJ Khaled and that Drake, Grease.
Oh, I like Pop Star. I don't mess with Grease like that.
Yeah, I like Grease, man.
Oh, now we need to roll into, we're still on music. James, come on, let's fight. Me and James gonna get into it right now. Rick Ross, 2 Chainz. What's up?
To me, Rick Ross.
But look, I see a butt coming. But
I mean, again, man, I just don't get. You got 2 brothers, 2 talented brothers. What's up with the strippers and throwing money?
That was fun. Come on, that was fun.
I get it, man, but it's to celebrate the music, man.
Wait.
I'm being too old.
Why you calling out him? You're not gonna call Rick Ross? He had a masseuse.
No, I'm talking about both of them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? To me, I'm trying to look at the music, try to listen to the music, but I'm just gonna focus on who I thought won. I was surprised though, man. I forgot a lot about some of 2 Chainz songs, man.
Yeah, a lot of features.
Man, dude, I was in here like, oh snap! Matter of fact, my workout music, man. That night, I was like, my pen and paper, like, oh, I gotta put that.
I know, right?
My workout thing, man. The only thing that I can say is Rick Ross, from the moment he came into the industry until now, man, his flow has developed so well. You know what I mean? And some of these songs, man, like the dude can just flow, man. Sometimes 2 Chainz, he has that kind of like talk rap.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like, all right, like the beat is getting ahead of you, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but overall, man, I thought it was fire. It wasn't better than DMX and Snoop, but I think I think Ross won that one, man. But it's rumored that they're gonna close out the summer with Jay-Z and Nas.
Ooh.
Oh.
So it's rumored.
You know what?
They do that.
Frico, first of all, what do you think? What do you think before I speak on what James just said?
Oh, no, you guys don't have. I can't opine on this in terms of how I feel about it. I like T-Pain. I think I actually like his flow. It's like lazy, slower. But, however, whenever I talk shit about either of these guys, I'm just trolling, man. So my initial response to Rick Ross, like, this guy is a great entrepreneur. He's doing his thing. But when the other Rick Ross sued him, like when the real Freeway Rick Ross sued him for taking his name, that stuck with me. Like, that seemed like it was just super shady. And since then, I've been trolling people with that. But as far as who's better, they both have a lot of nice shit out there.
I agree with you. That's one thing that always stuck in my craw about Rick Ross, along with being Officer Ricky, was that you should have took care of that man in some form or fashion. You didn't have to give him half of everything you got, but he should have got a lick for using, because you're not going to be who you are without that name. Let's just keep it. That name did do a lot for you. So I agree with that. But on that Jay-Z and Nas thing, well, first of all, if it happens, I think, of course, that'd be so wonderful for the culture because it would show two dudes putting their differences aside and their past aside, and that would truly be a celebration. I don't think it would be a battle. Excuse me. I think it'd be more of a because they don't chill like that. So I think it would be more of a if we're gonna do this, we got to put our differences aside and build with each other instead of trying to compete. But I don't know if Jay-Z is gonna be willing to do that or Nas, because Jay-Z always seemed. Do you ever notice every time since Ether came out, when Nas tries to do something, Jay-Z tries to overshadow him every time. When he came up with that album with Kanye, Jay-Z and Beyonce dropped the album like the next day.
But
Like
they did an album together, didn't they, or a song together? That Black
maybe a
Republican.
song, I'm not sure. I don't remember a song.
It's on Black Republican. I think it's on Nas album.
Mm.
No, they've collaborated before.
Hard as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show how much, we damage ourselves, because if those two can get together and put an album out, oh my God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The difference
That would
is,
mean a lot. That would mean a lot.
and that will shut down the whole industry, man.
Especially because they would be rapping about real stuff and like entrepreneurship and everything that we discussed. They would
Yeah.
they would put that kind of vibe on it that would permeate throughout
Yeah.
our community. You're right.
And it just,
I'm looking forward to this Nas and Lupe that they've been working. Like, not Lupe has posted pictures of him and Nas in the studio working on an EP album. I just Lupe is picking the beats. That's all I can say. I hope Jay-Z picks the beats. Nas, just don't pick the beats.
yeah, it gets
That's all I got to say. I don't want no Uchi Wally.
yeah. Get Cali in there, somebody. Get Timberland in there, somebody.
I mean, just you can't pick the beats. It's true, Richie. I mean, the Freako, I'm sorry, that dude cannot pick.
But Nas makes a lot of killer moves, man. People don't know how much of an entrepreneur he is, man.
Oh, definitely behind the scenes, he's killing it.
Dude is
Definitely behind the scenes, he's killing it, which I definitely respect. So
I love both those guys, man. I can't really decide.
Oh, and there was a conversation that we had before we move on to sports that was my mother-in-law that I didn't want to overlook. Before we've talked about and we didn't put on the air top 5 beat pickers of all time. This is Fire Optics. We're gonna try to bring you conversations that other people, little ins and outs that other people don't talk about. So people talk about greatest rapper alive and they talk about this and that. I don't hear anybody ever talk about top 5 or top beat pickers of all time. I want to rehash that conversation. I'll start off with James and Freako. I'm gonna be voting for when James speaks. So if I agree, thumbs up. If I don't agree, is this. And if I kind of feel him, is that. Go ahead. What you got, man?
I mean, of course, you know who I am, being from BK. My man, Jay-Z, man. I think this collectively, when he puts a song together, a lot goes into it. So, and you can feel it. Rick Ross, I think, will do beats, man. I think he's another one who understands his style of rap and what kind of beats need to go with it. Outkast, again, I think you mentioned it that one week, man, how, they make their own beats or something like that.
Yeah. They don't sample.
Yeah, they don't sample. Yeah, man, that's
impressive.
That's creative.
Yeah, that was all Dudgeon back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, man, just talented stuff, man, and we don't see too much anymore. I mean, after that, man, I mean, I like Drake. I think Drake is another one who understands his style, what music needs to be behind it. Mm-hmm. And after Drake, man,
when you said Drake, that's this. As far as beat pickers,
yeah, I think he's good, man. I think he has enough hot hits, and then Kanye, and again, me and Kanye, I'm kind of like, because he's a producer, so he understands that he understands sound better than a lot of other rappers.
Now I'm gonna give you. Let me spank you real quick on that Drake thing, because the only problem with selecting Drake is one of the greatest beat pickers of all time. Everyone else you name has a classic album. I'm just saying. I
Yeah,
don't,
no,
I
I
don't know
can
if you
agree
can be
with you.
a
I can
top
agree with
picker of
you.
all time if you don't have a classic album.
I can agree with you. I mean, you can replace so many good people out there, man.
I know there are. That's why it's hard. It's
The
supposed to be.
Tribe, Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick.
Hey, Rico, good job.
You
I mean,
know,
like they're good beat pickers, man.
I will give you a young
Let's say
person.
Q-Tip when it comes to trial. Let's say Q-Tip because
Yeah,
he's.
I'll give you a young person who I really like. Who album? He doesn't have a classic, but his album, man, to me, has always been one of the most smoothest albums to listen through, and that's J. Cole.
Okay.
Yep.
That's to me. I
Okay.
like J. Cole. I like the young guy. I think he's better than Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's just me. This is my opinion. Kendrick is raw. I think J. Cole is just a little bit above him. My opinion. What you got? You're 5, Ken.
No, free. I'll go last. Freako, who you got? Top 5. Go ahead. Because he stunned me with that Q-Tip. Basically, I totally forgot about him. He's gonna have to be in my top 5. I gotta change my list up.
Rod, boy.
I mean, I don't know. I can't name 5. I'd say like
Your 5.
I agree with Drake. He picks good
Your
beats.
5 favorite, basically. Because I really hate top 5
So
discussion.
not top 5 producers, but top 5 picker of producers.
Beat pickers, not producers. Beat pickers.
So pickers of people that they want to produce.
Basically,
Yeah.
because
Well,
Nas, in my opinion, Nas should be the greatest rapper of all. I personally feel he and Jay-Z are God level, but Jay-Z's got to me lately a better body of work over time because Nas his beat picking just be sketchy, man. And it's like anyway, go ahead, Freako.
I'd say like after 95, 96, it got
He had a
less
totally
good.
good album. That Nostradamus was garbage.
And maybe he's one of the worst hook producers of all time because them hooks were terrible. But hey, that's your song though. That's what I be putting in the group chat all the time. That James Stradamus.
I hate that damn Nostradamus album.
James,
Go ahead, Freako, before this dude goes on.
I'll run it out. So here, for right now, the best beat pickers, whoever I just said.
Yes.
I agree with Lupe. I know Kanye is very controversial, but I think he's up there, man. Run the Jewels.
Oh, okay.
Mobb Deep.
Oh.
Like they knew how to pick some beats, man. So that's like 7. So you guys go.
Well, you know what?
Mobb Deep, good one, man.
Yeah. And there's a little story on that Lupe, for those that don't know, that's very present because that album I was speaking of, Houses is the name of the album. Just like Lupe normally does, kind of a concept album where every song has different layers. Like the song Dinosaurs, where he's rapping about dinosaurs. I heard him in the interview. It is actually a metaphor for rappers. And if you listen to the song, he mentions like the Raptors in Toronto, their claws. It's something weird he does that I'm like, oh, he was talking about Drake. Oh, he was talking about Black Thought over here, stuff like that. But anyway, the cool thing about this album, which solidified him as one of my greatest beat pickers of all time, he went on to Twitter and somebody just sent the beat to him and like, yo, this is the type of beat that you should be rapping on. Just some random person sent him a random beat from some random producer. And, a producer, but not a well-known producer at all. And Lupe got in contact with the producer and was like, yo, let's do a whole album together. Like to be
Yeah, that's
have big teams behind them. Drake got 20,000 people finding all kinds of beats for him. Like for you to be able to hear that and be like, yo, not only do I think that song is fire, I think that you got something that we can work together. That's kind of crazy to me. So anyway, y'all always missing the greatest beat picker of all time. Ghostface Killer is the greatest beat picker of all time, and it's not even close.
Whatever. You know what?
I don't
You know
know
what
about
about
that one.
Ghostface Killers?
What?
You know what about Ghostface Killers? And I mean, I meant to mention this the other time you mentioned
He
that.
just went to RZA and said, "Make a beat."
Exactly. He is
No, 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 no,
He
no.
is giving his beat.
Hold on. Beyond RZA. RZA doesn't produce all. RZA produced Ghostface first 2 or 3 albums.
The
After
best one.
that, he's finding producers. And let me tell you something. Them joints still slap. Fish Scale. RZA didn't produce a lot of stuff on Fish Scale. That thing is hard. And people don't pay attention to Ghost nowadays as much as they used to. But I can tell you, as someone who's a Ghost fan, every time he comes out with an album, there's at least 4 or 5 fire beats still on there. And that's kind of ridiculous to do. So anyway, Ghostface, Lupe, Q-Tip. For those of you that don't go into Tribe Called Quest's catalog, Midnight Marauders is the popular one that's everybody's go-to. Electric Relaxation and all that kind of stuff is on there. But my favorite album is actually their first album. And people don't really listen to that. It's the Instinctual Tribes. I can't even remember the whole full name of it because it's so long. But Tribe's first album, all right? If y'all go back and listen to that, because I did it like, I want to say 3 years ago, because I had never listened to the first album. The production on that album sounds like something that could come out now.
Yeah, it was futuristic back then.
Yeah.
Same with De La Soul. It was amazing.
Yes. So Q-Tip, Lupe, Ghostface, West Side Gun. Now a lot of people know about him. That is a beat picker. Just trust me on that one, because you can delve. The Griselda is just getting popular now, but if you go way back in their catalog when they first came out, like 6-7 years ago, all his beats have been like this, on this wavy. Some are super grimy, but then some is like you pluck sounds from the 50s and 60s of dudes bebopping on the corner and just looped it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That kind of vibe, that is kind of crazy. And then Kanye. I mean,
yeah. I mean, like, you can't throw him out of there just because he's an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. I'll also throw Outkast in there. I'll also throw Pharrell in there, even though Pharrell made the beats. You're still picking the beats that you make. So, yeah.
Can I say one thing? I just wanted to say that the best thing I think about these versus battles that are happening during the pandemic is you're having kids, or I guess kids to us, that never listened to that Tribe album or that De La album, and now they're starting to learn about it.
Very much so. And it's
and now we can talk shit to them again.
I like they're pairing people together that respect enough of each other. See, what we don't need is Black people on these platforms being jerk offs to each other. What we need is exactly what we're getting.
Oh, it's 100% positivity. I love it.
100% positivity and respect.
Yeah.
It's respect. And that's what Black kids need to see when they're looking up at TV, and not us doing ignorant shit. But, these two are supposed to be rivals, but they actually rock with each other. Like, kids need to see that. The Black youth definitely see that.
And they also need to see better music from the early 90s.
Yep.
That's why I didn't, the Rick Ross 2 Chainz thing. I was like, come on, you ain't got to have them out there like that.
What do you mean? Oh, because of the kids watching. Yeah. I mean,
my daughter, she loves the verses, man. She didn't hear some of those people at DMA. She was like, man, y'all music back in the day was the truth. I was like, yeah.
Which daughter? How old was your daughter? Which daughter? Okay.
Yeah. University of Dayton daughter.
She actually liked. She like when Snoop came on and ain't no fun unless the homies have some. She like that.
But she understood the.
Oh damn!
But they was just vibing with each other. You know.
Yeah. You're right.
This last one, I was like, hell no, I ain't watching this last one. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, I want to hear two things. I said, well, you can hear them, but you ain't about to watch what's
Yeah,
going
you're
on.
not gonna watch. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
You know, so I was just like, man, come on, like
I mean,
you don't
see,
always gotta bring that piece of the culture in there.
but see, there's a fine line between what we as parents do and what other parents do. There's really a fine line because what's permitted in my home, like I was having a conversation with my daughter, like, yo, when you make friends, I'm glad you have all kinds of friends and this and that. But when you go over their house and blah blah blah, you need to make sure they know if they're doing something in front of you that I wouldn't let you do. You tell them straight up, hey, I can't. My dad won't let me do that. I can't get down like that.
My dad's got a gun, guys. There's three of them.
For real, man. For real. So let's move on.
Do it.
Sports.
Mm.
The bubble. Well, first of all, before we let's save the best for last because the NBA is the only one that's playing. Well, Rico, you can't raise your hand, but say yes if you've been watching Major League Baseball.
I watched the first day that came back on.
Yep. And then after that, it's like, yo, it's so. I didn't think baseball could be any worse, but I mean, I just realized them hitting foul balls into the stands and
empty stand. Yeah,
catch it and act, belligerent and all. Yo, that was half the reason why I was watching anyway. And you took.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm really happily surprised that most of the games in the NBA that have been played have been good.
We're gonna say the NBA for last. We're gonna talk about these other sports.
Yeah. So baseball sucks. What else sucks?
Football. The Pac. Okay, this is big news today, actually.
Yeah.
The Pac-10 is saying that on Tuesday they're gonna announce they're not playing football this year. Penn State, Ohio State, and I think it was Michigan are gonna join the Big 12 for a year just to play football.
What? I did not hear about that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
man. Not here in Ohio, man. I mean, you know football.
Talk about it.
You know football was big anywhere else, man. Man,
I know it's everything Ohio State area. I know that.
Ooh,
yeah, I think Ohio and Texas are similar.
Yeah, Ohio and Texas, man. I just got out here, man, but it's Ohio State everything.
So I mean, are they talking about that? How they going?
It's all like on local news here and everything, man. It's like, to me, it's like this, right? You got these cases in baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's happening. You got to postpone these games. You got to cancel this because people are going to get it, right? They're making the right move. Let's cancel football, man. Because what you're doing is you're gonna go play for the Big 12.
Yep.
And what are you gonna do? Play in an empty stadium because you can't have any people in there. You know what I'm saying? Those players going to coaches. Somebody's gonna get it. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
If I'm a member of one of these schools, one of these boosters, and what you just said, you know what I heard? Wham, blah, blah, blah. You know why? Because we need our TV money, TV contract.
Yeah, exactly. The money.
It's not because of the people coming to the stadium. TV contracts, buddy.
You can wham all you want, right? You can go get your TV money, right? But here's what I gotta say, and I'll tell to the athletic director or to anybody who's making a decision out there, right? It's not a fact of when it's gonna happen. It's the fact of when. It's not if, it's when it's gonna happen, right? Because you ain't in no bubble like the NBA is.
Exactly, and college kids are not gonna.
Yeah,
they don't listen to people.
In fact, I'm not gonna say nothing, but you're pure stupid. pure stupid. I'm trying to be nice about it. You got no control over it. Like you're gonna go say, "Oh, it's because we're going to the Big 12." That we're gonna be immune to it. Man, just sit your ass down. Just sit the Damn.
Uncle James.
Damn.
James Sharp.
Look. This is how stupid it is, right? This is how stupid it is, right? I got a homeboy that's stationed in Korea right now, right? You know how many cases they had in the last month?
How many what?
Cases of coronavirus they had in the last month?
In Korea?
South Korea, yeah.
Probably 0. 4.
4. They just now opened up. You see what I'm saying? Sit your punk ass down.
Mm-hmm.
Sit your punk ass down. Let the shit down, and then you can open back up. If money's that, what you're saying is money is more important than the health of those students.
Or
yeah, and they're not saying the fact that they're going to lose money in the long run if they do this.
But or if you do it, I forgot the better way to say this. I'm sorry, James. But if you're a black student or any student at these schools, do like the Pac. We need to talk about the Pac-12. Hold these conferences hostage. They're basically telling you right now, we need you to survive, not just football, but like our school. Without this money you're going to generate, we may collapse. That's why we're willing to take a chance with your life to do this. So you know what you say? Oh, if you need me to take a chance with my life, you got to take a chance with a paycheck for real. And that's what the dudes in the Pac-12 are doing. They were like, they did what Ice Cube is doing. They got a contract. You got to do all this stuff. That's the only way we're playing. No, you're not gonna we're not gonna and we're gonna end up paying for it. No, you're not gonna swindle us out of our scholarship. You're not playing any games. We've already looked at all the games you could play and we lined them out, and you got to sign this paper saying you ain't gonna play these games. Or that's what they need to. And why is it a West Coast? The Pac-12 always seems, are they more highly educated on that side of the country or something? Because it always seems like they're on the forefront of making these kind of logical decisions.
I mean, you got the Ivy League who did it. Of course, they make money from tuition, but they did it right away. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they don't make as much money from football than these other schools. That's the thing.
And didn't the ACC do it pretty quick too?
Do what?
Cut fall sports.
Oh no, we're playing football. What are you talking about?
ACC?
Yeah, the schedule came out last week. Yes, but it's talk that. So here's the rumor. The rumor is that the Pac-10 is leading the way by announcing Tuesday, and the other 5 power conferences are supposed to follow their lead throughout the week. That's
the dominoes are gonna fall, man.
So
the ACC is not gonna play.
You can't. For one, you can't finance a bubble for every sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And let me add one thing before James, sorry to interrupt. So these colleges, they're losing out on billions of dollars, and not just from the sports, but from people they're like, I'm not paying tuition to come here for the knowledge and experience when I'm on a fucking Zoom meeting for 4 courses a day.
And Frico, they're still charging them full tuition, even though they're getting.
Exactly, they're desperate. So I mean, I think the future of universities in general, not just like college sports, but it doesn't look good.
Yeah, that's the thing. Y'all got them right now. Y'all got them.
They got the leverage.
You got them right here by the cojones, like Sam Cassell used to do. You got them right there by the cojones.
It's just like Ice Cube said. Don't squander this moment.
No, don't, man. It's not worth it.
Don't do it, because right now what's happening is America's being exposed for how greedy the infrastructure is.
And you know what? It's our fault.
Well said.
Be on. You know what? On Twitter, there's a lot of Carolina recruits and players, because that's my squad, football players, basketball players that I follow. I think it's our responsibility as older black men who root for these teams but know the risk that they're taking to at them in tweets, to give them yo, man, you ain't got to do this, man. This is not worth your life. This one season of football, because really all you got to do is wait out one season. And even, like I said, even if they try to say, oh, but we gotta play, or everything's gonna fall apart. If we gotta play, then I need right here, right now, or you're not getting it. And they're gonna give in. They have to give in.
Yeah.
It ain't worth your health, man. I wish I could take all these young people and say, look, man, I've been so much in the military over 20 years, man. I got stuff that's gonna be with me for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it, man. It ain't worth this season of football, basketball, or whatever, man. Just like I told my daughter, I said, you ain't stepping foot on that damn campus. You know what I'm saying?
Not doing that, coming back here.
So to all the people, man, oh, she can go to school online. It's fine. Okay, got it. That's fine. You see what I'm saying? It can happen. There's online schools everywhere. You know what I mean? It ain't worth it. Because I said, if the moment you get sick and you're the one person who can't overcome it, you're going to wish like hell you never did it. And it's too late then.
Yep. So the University of Phoenix ahead of its time, apparently.
And there's a lot of these
Academy.
That are bringing kids back on campus. I assumed that all these colleges were going to be strictly online for this fall semester, and that's not the case.
No,
that's how big the money issue is right now. I mean, it's really they're taking a hit.
My wife's school was like she's going to become a nurse practitioner, right? And so her school was like, no, you got to do your class online. I said, okay, you're going to tell them take your scholarship and push it back a semester. You ain't, hey, we'll wait to January to see how this turns out. She ain't going to school this year. She ain't
they told her she can't take her courses online.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
okay. I like your move. I like that move.
Yeah, push your scholarship and everything back next semester. We'll see you in January. Well, let's see how this thing plays out. I told my wife, hell no, you staying at home. I make my money. You don't need to go to school. You good, but you might walk on that damn campus.
No, it's real.
I mean, you're probably pretty like 15 miles away from it.
Huh?
You're like 15, 20 miles away from it.
From my school, yeah. My daughter's school's like right up the road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's not worth the money. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so let's move on. You know what? I've actually watched more hockey. I'm not going to talk about hockey, but I'm just rounding up all the sports. Hockey, I've actually watched our team play the Carolina Hurricanes because they were whooping the New York Rangers, but smacking them up like we are. So I watched a little bit of that, but I don't get enticed to watch just random hockey. That was another sport where the fans mean a lot. They get to bang on the side of the glass during the playoffs. Like you don't. I don't. Okay, so let's go and get. Well, first of all, NFL. I hope y'all aren't going to play either. It's not worth it. Let's make that a quick conversation. NFL, y'all are suckers if y'all play for real. No. Basketball. It's the year of the black people. The only sport that did it right. The only sport that got it right. And baseball could have had the same thing. I think the commissioner proposed to them, hey, we can have 3 separate bubbles, one in Arizona, one in Vegas, I think, and one in Florida. I think that's what they were proposing. And the players' union was like, no, you idiots. Basketball got it right. And on top of that, it's gotten to the point now where I don't even care about the crowd being there or not now because the dudes is hooping. So it's just like being in the gym with them.
They're fun games.
The games are great. Yeah. And that may be a part of the reason, because there's no home court advantage, that could be a part of the reason why the games are so great. Because it's just hooping. It's not, I don't think you being a superstar celebrity basketball player means as much now. Like you see TJ Warren out here doing Booker. Like
my 2 MVPs right now.
Here's my theory. I think TJ Warren, he just plays better in an environment without people in the stands. Obviously. The dude's like, he goes from being like a normal dude just to being like superstar. And the only thing that changed was no people in the stands and you're in Orlando.
I mean, but you don't know what dudes were doing. This was really telling of how you got down during the break, for real.
Oh, yeah.
Zion did not get down.
Oh, yeah, we were all getting fat. TJ Warren was getting healthy, getting strong.
Yes,
he picture of Zion, man. I'm a Duke fan, man.
Man, no, look at her, look at him, Freako rubbing his head.
But man, I was excited because they showed this dude on Twitter, man, all beef or rocked up like he been, just all day, every day. Just,
Dude look like hamburger patties.
man, he came out there, man. I was like, dude, man, you look like you.
He got no definition in this.
Man, I think you guys are being too hard on his weight.
No. It's not about the weight. It's about being in shape.
No, I mean you're being too hard on him being in shape. I think he's so good that he can just get by with it. Like, there's an injury risk.
Keep losing. How come they keep losing?
You know what?
Because he gets like 5 minutes a game.
He played a whole end of the quarter. The one game I watched of him, right?
And what happened?
Right. You know what I saw when he was at Duke? This dude was flying through the gym. Flying. Remember that time he blocked that dude's shot for the 3-point shot?
He went to the stands. Yeah.
Now he's having a hard time catching the alley. Watch.
Well, I think that's correctable, man.
He's still doing it. He's still
fixable.
But watch, man. He went up for an alley one time and he didn't get it. He slid down on the ground and he walked all the way back.
Dude ain't in shape.
Dude, I think he's also pissed about the minutes, and he's also fat.
Stop it.
Man. No, I'm saying he's also fat, but I'm saying he can overcome that.
No. It's not about
he's out of shape.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Out of shape, fat, whatever. He's out of shape. He can overcome that.
No. But because you can be a plus size dude who is still in shape. That's my point. There's tons of NFL offensive linemen who are in shape, but they're still big.
They're not going to run up and down an NBA court for.
No, I mean some can, but it's this dude ain't running up an NBA up and down.
He's obviously not right now. He's fucking like.
Did you watch the game today?
I did not.
Missing a lot of close range baskets. That tells me you don't have the upper body strength that you should have to make it through the contact to make that layup that you would normally.
What?
What do you mean? What?
It's the opposite of that. He has the upper body strength to finish.
No,
even though he's out of shape.
Everything today. What are you talking about?
Finishing. I didn't see today's game, so I can't comment on that. But his body of work.
Rico, he's out of shape.
No, he's out of shape. I'm just saying that can be corrected.
Like it could be corrected. It could be corrected.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, there's people are paid millions of dollars to correct that for him. So.
But here's the thing. Here's the only concern. This pandemic put dudes in a situation where the onus was on you to have your shit together. You can't blame anybody else. Obviously, TJ Warren was like, you know what? It showed me who the true hoopers are, to be honest with you, because you had the freedom to do whatever the heck you wanted. Zion looked like he got acquainted with New Orleans recipes. TJ Warren looked like, yo, basketball is my life. I'm about to make this.
No, dude, this is the best time for people that are just hungry. Versus people that got late that have good contracts. They're not going to be as.
Yo, this dude was out there busting the Lakers' ass last night. Let's not act like he was busting Orlando. What's
his contract like?
James saw the game. At the end of the game, he was the one taking the big shots. This dude did a Euro step floater. I was like, what? Yo.
Yeah, I saw that. He did it twice.
You saw that Euro step floater?
Yeah, man.
That was nasty.
He did it twice. It was crazy. Down the middle of the lane.
I don't
like James.
You don't like what?
Because man.
Let's get into it. Yeah, okay. James, who are they gonna lose to though? So you say you don't like the Lakers' chance? Are they gonna lose in the first round, the second round, the conference finals, or the NBA finals?
No, they don't make it to the NBA finals. I think I agree with you. Portland is very dangerous. If I'm the Lakers, I'm praying for Memphis or somebody or Portland to bump up a seed, and maybe they get a little lesser competition like Memphis. There's two teams really that I don't think the Lakers, or three really, the Lakers can get by, and that's Utah, Portland, and the Clippers.
I only disagree with one of those teams, but keep going.
And so, but if they get out of the first round, I think LeBron's got enough in the tank. I still worry, man. To me, he don't look like he's out of shape. He just looks like age is caught up to him. You know what I'm saying? And like he can't expend the energy like he used to. You know. Now, this bubble might save him because it's not so much what you call it, hoopla around the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They don't got so much distractions now, so he might better get more rest. But I don't know, man. I don't see him getting past Kawhi and Paul George because I think them two brothers are just sitting back, like, you know, whatever.
They're pretty good.
All right, we know.
And it's not is the thing is it's not just them. They legitimately run 10 deep. And that means a lot. Like
Williams the other night.
which one?
Leonard didn't play last night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it didn't matter.
Yeah, Lou was like, "Oh, okay, that's my turn."
Man, it's just without Leonard didn't play, man. Just you're not beating them dudes.
You know what is so underrated, and they don't talk about. People always, I mean, the bench is so underrated. Being able to have 10 quality dudes that you don't have to have your main players in, and the game is still gonna flow the way you want it. Because I think personally, is as much as Clay, Steph, and Draymond Green and Kevin Durant, all the superstars, man. Well, more so before Kevin Durant. I think after Kevin Durant, it was more based on what the superstars did. But before Kevin Durant got there, when their first championship, Golden State was the difference to me between because Sean Livingston, David West, Matt Barnes, it was some other dude. Iggy, they would just roll off the bench like the starters and increase the lead. And that's where I think the Lakers, that's where you're gonna mess up. Because I hear Stephen A and them talk all the time. They got the two of the top 5 best players in the world. I don't see how they can, forget all that. If I'm playing a team where they're rotating Pat Beverly and Reggie Jackson's a borderline all-star. So you don't get a break. Shamet and Leonard, no break. Shamet's not nasty, but he's not a slouch. He can hit open shots. You still got to pay attention. Paul George, and you rotate Green and Morris, the Morris twin. You know he's a bully. And then you got the boys down there, man. That's 10 deep.
Montel Harrell, yeah, no them. Montel
Now,
Harrell.
Lakers bench, you got. Here's what happened. If the Lakers had Avery Bradley, I would give them a big chance. That is what is going to do them in. Because then if you go against Portland, I believe Portland's going to beat the Lakers in the first round.
They got nobody for Dame.
Exactly. That's who Avery Bradley. You have Avery Bradley. He's not going to shut Dame down, but he's damn sure going to make it very uncomfortable. Like,
but you got CJ McCollum, and this is what people don't understand is like Carmelo going to be Carmelo come playoff. This is what he's waiting for.
Watch. You like it today.
Yeah. Carmelo going to be – Portland is dangerous. And LeBron know it. You know what I'm saying? It would have been wonderful, man, to see this bubble with Golden State and KD in it, man.
No, KD wasn't supposed to be on Golden State. KD didn't want to stay.
No, it'd have been good basketball if we could see Kawhi, Paul George, KD, and Golden State, LeBron.
Okay, yeah, that would. I see. Okay, yeah, you're right. That would be a good series. Yeah. You're right. I see what you're saying. Frico, who you got? Let's see who y'all got in the finals. Just so. Oh no, let's do conference finals. Who makes the finals and then the winner. So my bad, Frico. James, give me your conference finals, and the winner. So that way, we got it on record. Dudes can't front.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with it, man. Portland and the Clippers in the Western Conference. Clippers winning. I'm gonna take. Boston.
You stole it.
Yeah, I got Boston in the finals against the Clippers.
Me
but,
too. I got Boston.
But who's your other Eastern Conference team? Boston.
I'm thinking Toronto.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Toronto.
Well, you don't believe in the Bucks. Okay.
The only reason I don't believe in the Bucks is because I don't like their point guard, man. I don't like Bledsoe.
I don't like Bledsoe either.
I think Lowry eats their asses up.
I don't know if he eats him up, but Bledsoe be effing up, man.
He do too many wild shots, man.
He wants it too bad. He wants it too bad. He doesn't always play within the flow of the offense.
And
Got good D though.
He hasn't developed a three yet. He still doesn't hit a high enough clip to carry them over.
We got Frico.
Well, I agree with James on Boston, but since he already picked Boston, I will take.
You can pick Boston.
Exactly, I'm picking Boston.
Yeah, I'll say Boston, and then on the other side, I'd say Dallas is a dark horse, and Denver.
Don't let that damn what's that boy triple double fool you.
Oh, he's nasty.
Luka Doncic, he's amazing.
He's nasty, but they play no defense, so they have no shot.
Yeah,
they have no shot.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, let them come up against the Clippers and that motherfucker get Kawhi on them.
Oh, they're going against the Clippers in the first round. That's what they're to play.
Yeah, have you guys seen
Porzingis?
Like, he's not a skinny, like tall looking nerd. He's jacked now.
The truth came out. Frico.
Kawhi about to shut that.
Frico. Clippers in 4. Clippers in 4. They don't play defense, man. You got to play defense to beat the Clippers.
Look,
I agree.
George Adam and Kawhi Adam. Luka,
and they're both defensive.
They're gonna let Beverly be on them. You know why? Because Luka loves to dribble around and do a step back or whatever. They're gonna be like, Beverly, just stay in front of him, or they can rotate.
Who's guarding Porzingis, man? You guys are
Montel Harrell. Porzingis slow as shit.
No, man, he's not like a little kid anymore.
Flynn is gonna guard him.
Who?
And he's gonna punch his chest in.
He can shoot over him anytime he wants.
It's a straight defense, man.
You can shoot over that defense if you're 7 foot.
So are we?
Chris Stapps.
Are we booking it? You got the Dallas Mavericks beating the Clippers.
Yes, I'll write it down.
How much? Hold on, let me write a check.
$500.
No, but 500,000. How much? I got. I got a band right now. Come on, shake the. Come on, right now.
I can't find my money band right now, but maybe later. But I had to throw out something that was a little controversial, but I think Dallas is way better.
You know what? We're gonna tag this podcast. Rico Tuesdays.
Crack smoke.
Rico Tuesdays.
I'm just saying you have to consider the possibility.
No, I don't, dude.
No, dude.
This is why
they have that point
This is
guard
why we used to beat you so bad in basketball when we were little.
What was no? They got who's Dallas point guard now?
Kawhi Leonard. Have you watched Kawhi Leonard's career in the playoffs? What this dude does to people?
I know it's terrible what he does.
Any dude that don't care about
he ruins their lives.
Let me tell you something, Frico. Any black man who knows he's gonna be on national TV every night and don't put any chapstick on his lips and just be out there ashy lipped because he's so focused on playing defense.
He's the real. He's the real.
Out there with the crackhead lips. Like I don't care how I look. Braids be all frizzy.
You know what?
No, I'm saying, dude, LA, the Clippers, they look really good. But Paul George he's awesome, but he also has injury issues. Kawhi's on minutes restriction all the time.
But that's why they're depth. They're not going to do that in the playoffs.
Dude, did you see what he did in Toronto last year?
I know, man. I know he's awesome. I agree. I'm just trying to throw out some devil's advocate stuff with the Dallas.
I know you're playing devil's advocate, so I'm not going to go too hard on you, but
did you see this?
when
We can't
Dallas
all agree.
people off the bench, who are they going? Okay, so I'm gonna put in Clippers bench. All right, Reggie Jackson, Lou Williams, Montrezl Harrell, and Jermichael Green and Shamit. That's better than the Charlotte Hornets starting five. So you give me Dallas's bench is gonna go up against them when Luka and Porzingis are getting rest. Who they go? Who
Steph Curry.
Tim Hardaway
he's a starter.
Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. Seth
Tim
Curry,
Hardaway
as
Jr.
James said.
I want the bench players.
Justin Jackson, Tim Hardaway Jr.
I'm a Carolina fan. I know you did not just say
Boban Marjanovic, Michael Gilchrist, Justin
this
Jackson.
dude looking on his phone at the roster.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Maxi Kleber, I don't know who that is.
Look, you know the X factor is that Doc Rivers is just a hell of a
I was
coach.
about to say Doc Rivers and Sam Cassell and your boy from Cleveland, Tyrone Lue.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like Dallas. Don't get me wrong. I think Luka is.
I love Luka. I love him.
Luka can ball his ass off, man. But dude, come on, he ain't playing against nobody when he's doing this shit.
Don't sleep on the tall rapist guy.
Dude, I'm a Knicks fan, man. I know all about Porzingis.
He's nasty too.
You know why he left to New York, the Knicks, right?
Why? Rapey?
Yeah, that girl.
I didn't know that.
That was like on the down low. Yeah, it was.
He raped that girl. Called her a nigga or something.
Ooh, he raped a black woman?
No. It was a white chick that lived in his building. Chick. That was a white chick in his building.
No, it was a black chick, man. He called her the N-word.
Oh,
and
shit.
He raped her?
Maybe there are two instances then.
Dang,
He raped two chicks. He's like, Knicks are like, you're out of here.
Let me look that up.
Wild in these streets.
And I tell you who my sleeper is, man, to be what you call it, league MVP in about 2 years. Tatum.
Oh, that's why we said Boston. That's why we agreed on Boston.
He won't be league MVP.
I think he will.
You know why? Because Jaylen Brown is ascending along with him, and they're going to kind of cancel each other out.
No, I think that increases Jason Tatum's assist totals. And then he's also passing to, what's his name? The guy from Charlotte that used to play in Charlotte, the really good guy.
Kemba. But I think that if you were watching the game the other night, Jaylen Brown was the one hitting those big shots against Portland, I believe, is who they played. I love Tatum. Tatum's nasty, and I hate to say that as a Carolina fan, but I think we'll talk about that later. Let me get into my my picks. Western Conference, I got the Clippers, and I want to hold on. I don't want to bite James style. I want because I picked Portland to beat the Lakers. That's off the tops. I don't have Houston. Denver, I don't know. Ooh. You know what? Give me the Clippers and the Denver Nuggets, and here's why. I think that the way is, oh, never mind. You know, never mind. Okay, here's what I was gonna say. If the Denver Nuggets were lined up to meet Portland after they beat the Lakers in the second round, I think Denver would knock out Portland based on the matchups because Denver is deep. They got multiple bodies on dudes in the backcourt. And your boy the Joker, that's a clutch dude, right? That dude be hitting some big shots.
And he's a 7-foot point guard too.
Yeah, he is.
Passes are legit.
But if they're matching up against the Clippers, they're not going to be the Clippers already because Kawhi's going to shut Michael Porter Jr. down or George. So I got Portland and the Clippers, with the Clippers making it to the you know what? Yeah, I got the Clippers making it to the finals. I just think they got too much. And then in the East, give me the Bucks, man, because I think Middleton I think he's going to continue to step up for the deficiencies of Giannis with his shooting. if Bledsoe don't mess it up. Bledsoe want to mess it up so bad sometimes. I can tell. He just wants to be the man so bad. Anyway, so give me the Bucks. And this is the hard part. Lord. It's not going to be Toronto. It's definitely not going to be the 76ers. Who else is in there, man? Give me Boston and the Bucks. Yeah, Boston, duh.
So we all agree on Boston.
And I think the Bucks will take Boston because Boston doesn't have enough depth. I think they're lacking on their depth too, and I think that Middleton is gonna be the difference because he can hit big shots, unlike Giannis and Bledsoe. And I don't know. I just got a feeling you can't get back-to-back MVPs and not make it to the finals, can you?
I don't know, man. So just a real-time update. The Clips are losing by 20 to the Nets right now.
Yeah, because look at their lineup.
They got everyone except what's his name, Kawhi.
Kawhi is playing.
Oh, then what's it?
Paul George.
Who's not playing?
Paul George isn't playing.
Oh, okay.
Yo, but the Nets have been balling. So I don't.
Yeah, they are the team of the future. Maybe like 3 years from now.
The Nets were like 4-2 in the bubble.
Yep.
So, yeah, the Clippers. I mean, like James said, the pedigree of that coach. You got Doc Rivers, Sam Cassell, and Ty Lue on the bench. I don't know. That's different. That's three very respectable people that, like, if you're an NBA player, you can't really run off your mouth at them because they all played. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You disrespect some people. You can't.
Championships.
Yeah, you can't disrespect Doc Rivers and Sam Cassell and Ty Lue. You can't. You just can't. So when the time comes, I think, and I got the Clippers winning it all because Kawhi is and I've told this before. I want to make this point on the podcast. I would love for Kawhi to be the role model of every black male in this country. I want Kawhi to be how brothers get down, because Kawhi is how our fathers used to get down. You don't know what he's thinking. You don't know his motivations. You don't know his side business. You don't know his side tricks. You don't know his Twitter. You don't know all you know is that dude hoops. And he don't say a lot. He just handles his business. And I think as a black community, young dudes really need to, because not everybody operates off of talking big shit and shooting long range and being like everybody else. Like, dudes look at what other dudes do and rapping and talking shit and all this kind of stuff and be like, yo, that's the way I gotta go about it. No, look at Kawhi. Like,
Yep.
you know, just be a machine about it and don't bring attention to yourself and handle your business.
Yeah.
He also seems like a nice guy too.
I mean, it just seems like he's the most trustworthy dude in the league because you know exactly who he is.
I'll tell you a story about Kawhi, man.
This dude got.
I met him.
Oh, were you in Kaleem when he was in Spurs?
No, I was stationed in San Antonio.
Oh, so you saw him play at the? Okay, gotcha.
We went to what you call it, a sub place called Witch.
Oh yeah, we know which.
Yeah, and so him, Tim Duncan, Parker, and Ginobili at the time walked in, and I was in there for what you call it, getting my drink, and so I just saw this huge hand. So I was like, I looked up and it was Tim Duncan, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And you know, I had my little badge on, my defense thing, man. He said, "Appreciate your service." I said, "Hey, appreciate it." So I go up there, man, and what you call it, going to get my sandwich, and Kawhi right there, and I'm like, "Oh man, that's Kawhi," right? And so they are picking on him because he pulls up in this little what you call it?
Yeah, the Honda Accord or Honda Civic or something.
The SUV, like a Tahoe or something like that.
Yeah, something super old. They used to talk about that all the time.
Yeah, but dude was cool, man. He bought all the soldiers in their lunch.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, man, he said all these soldiers in here, man, is on me.
Holy shit!
And I was like, man, I said, appreciate
Shit,
it.
that's a
Man.
good character.
Yeah, man. So dude, he was real cool, man. It was like all of them was pretty cool. Even Duncan, because Duncan,
I expect Duncan to be like that,
he was cool,
just
man.
like Kawhi.
He owns a chop shop out in San Antonio. Trucks and all kinds of stuff, man. You don't know what you know, they side business, man. But it was pretty cool, man. To me, that man, humble dude, man. He was just like, "Oh, you good, man? You good, man? What you need, autograph, whatever? You know what I'm saying?" I ain't big on autographs. Nah, I'm good, man. But appreciate the meal and everything. But yeah, man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to meet that dude, man. Tall as a motherfucker, dude. Boy,
Who, Duncan?
Looking tall, man. I was like, man.
He probably looking.
He's a classy dude, man.
Yeah, he is, man. He's cool, man. He said, "Come by the shop, man. You gotta come by the shop. We'll give you a good deal hooking up your ride, man." I was like, cool.
I mean, truth be told, man, I've run into a few NBA players here or there. And depending, like I tell my wife and a couple of my boys, if you don't treat them like they're superstars and gods, they're actually pretty humble when they talk to you. Like a lot of them react with the vibe that you throw out.
Yeah.
If you act like, no, what up? No big deal, and go about your business. Then they act.
Humans.
Hmm?
No, I'm saying I agree. It's just like it's just two humans.
Yeah. Exactly. But if you treat them like you all gassed up, they're gonna act like, oh, here we go. This person probably wants something from me.
And they're tired of that shit too, probably.
I mean, when you gotta go about that way, man. Like,
yeah.
Especially you gotta think about how many times are you gonna get burned by in a situation before you say, you know what, I can't fuck with none of y'all. It's not gonna be that many times, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know I cut niggas off all the time.
I hate going out. I hate it.
And don't nobody know us. So
I know. So I can imagine being like them.
Exactly. Like it would probably take like 2 or 3 times for me before I'm like, yo, man, I can't just be rocking with y'all randomly and whatever. But yeah, if you handle it like they know they're humans, like you said, Frico, that's typically how it turns out. So yeah, those are our NBA picks. We got it stamped now. The only thing that bothered me, James, was that because I put this in the group chat about Portland. How long? That was like 3 weeks ago, right?
Mm.
But Charles Barkley picking them too, and that's the curse of death, boy.
Yeah, that's never right, man.
Yeah, he's never ever right.
Hold on.
You didn't know that, did
you? We gotta reevaluate this, man. Who's Shaq pick, man?
Huh?
Who's Shaq pick?
Shaq picked the Lakers
all the way.
I think he did. Yeah, he said the combination. But Shaq's gonna rock with the Lakers. He's gonna do that. Especially it's what kind of year have we had where you forget that Kobe Bryant died? That's the kind of year we had that's not going to be the number one story.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on the NBA games about that, but I think that was
because it's all Black Lives Matter.
All done.
It should be, but yeah, it was supposed to be a straight tribute to him throughout the year. But that's how crazy this year went, man. And I'm not gonna get my conspiracy bag. I'm not gonna say he was a martyr or anything, that his death was fishy or anything. But I'm just gonna say this: sometimes, certain people die, and it's a little omen for what's about to come. Cause
everything cascaded from there, man. I was like, this is
that was the first fucked up thing that happened.
Yeah, it was. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's crazy. And I didn't mention this before. Go ahead. What you gonna say, James?
No, I was just saying, like I said, even what we're going through, man. I like, man, the other side of the world, man, they're catching hell, man.
Oh, for real?
Every day, man, it's a mudslide taking out parts of India.
Yeah.
And that happens all the time, though, right?
Oh, this is every day, Ken.
But it happens all the time. That's what I'm saying.
Not like this. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time there. But when you look up and it's like, oh, July 8th, you know, these guys had a mudslide. Oh, it's July 11th, another mudslide. Oh, this place is flooded. And I'm not talking about
Monsoon season, baby. Monsoon season.
yeah, I'm not talking about like a regular mudslide. I'm talking about India, Pakistan, China, Russia. You know,
I thought that happens all the time, though.
Wait, no. So I think James, I think what you're trying to say is that we don't know how good we have it in some sense.
The frequency at which it's happening is what you're
Yeah.
elaborating on. But what I'm saying is, I think these things happen all the time, though. They do happen normally.
But it's just
Oh
like,
yeah, 100%. But they're happening more often now because of climate change.
yeah. And the thing is, it happens all the time, but it's never happened at this rate.
Okay.
You know
Like,
just like the bombing in Lebanon, right? It was
oh God.
Back to news. Break that down. What happened in Lebanon?
You shouldn't even be able to talk about that, James. But please let me know.
What I was going to say is because I don't know what exactly they said. It was old ammunition or old fertilizer that was been sitting.
Ammonium nitrate.
Yeah, that was sitting and parked in a bay.
It was
2013
stored there by Russians 15 years ago, I think.
So that joint just randomly exploded like that?
It's flammable.
I don't know.
Wow.
Have you guys seen the slow-mo of the explosion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That thing was crazy. But here's the thing. In 10 other places, Minnesota, China, some other cities, oh my God, I sent the picture to the group chat.
Yeah.
All over 24 hours, they had an explosion like that. I mean, this 2020 is just crazy is what I'm saying, man.
There's an earthquake in North Carolina.
That earthquake in okay, for those of you who don't know, I'm based in North Carolina. Flacco's in the Midwest. Excuse me, Frigo's in the Midwest. No, Frigo's in the Southwest. James is in the Midwest. But for the first time since 1916, I think, there was an earthquake in North Carolina. Now, here's the crazy part. It didn't happen in Morrisville, or we didn't feel it, because I woke up 5 minutes before that earthquake happened. Because I remember it was before 8 o'clock. I always look at the clock, of course, when I wake up to be able to gauge whether or not I feel like going on a jog. If it's after a certain time, it's too hot, I'm not going. So anyway, I'm checking Twitter, just randomly looking at stuff, and it was before 8 o'clock, and I saw something about an earthquake. And so I'm like, yo, I didn't, whatever. But then dudes in the group chat, yo, did you feel that? Blah, blah, blah. We got boys out in Charlotte that felt it. Apparently, my mother-in-law felt it in South Carolina and Columbia.
That's where it started at. In Spartan, South Carolina.
I thought it was Sparta, North Carolina. It's Sparta, South Carolina. Okay. So, yeah, from D.C. down to South Carolina or whatever, but not in Morrisville, which is really weird.
You probably didn't feel it. Come on, Mom said she felt it. She in Durham.
No, but all my neighbors like we didn't feel it in Morrisville. I'm serious. It's weird, but I don't know, man. Yeah, earthquake in North Carolina. There's gonna be aftershocks, of course. I mean, this is the year where anything can happen, and the chances of us, I still think they're probably gonna try to hit us up with some aliens by the end of the year. Whether they're real or not, I don't know. But I think they're going to try to drop that on.
They're real, Ken. They're fucking real, man.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. Whoa. Rico, I'm not saying they're not real. I'm just saying the ones that they're going to expose us to, I don't know if they're going to be real. The ones that they plan on showing us. That's what I'm saying. I do believe in them. But yeah, man, this is the year that just won't stop, man. And Frico, James, we had that other thing that we saw in the news, a quick news article. The number one new gun owners in America.
African Americans. That last week, go get your guns.
It's not just, it wasn't just me, but that's the crazy part. We tend to think collectively, and maybe that's what Joe Biden meant by we're not diverse. Because black
No,
people,
he just meant that we were
here's
diverse.
how he's right in this sense. If a bunch of black people at a concert, I remember this very distinctly. Um, Jay-Z, Outkast, DMX concert, probably one of the greatest concerts I've ever been in my life, with our homeboy Micah in Greensboro. I want to say this was 1998 or 99. Here's how black people operate. Herd mentality. After the concert, we're walking back to the cars. The hallway is packed, obviously, because it's letting out. Man, we're walking this way. All I do, I just feel an energy shift. All right. I didn't even see it first. I just felt like, yo, I don't know what happened, but what the hell? And I turn around and I see way in the back just a little wave of people just looking a little bit off. I tapped Mike on the shoulder, and our homeboy, I think Arnold was with us at the time. I was like, yo, let's go right now. That's how we operate. If we see any of us being bothered, we're gone. We're out. So maybe that's what Biden was talking about, how we're not diverse. Because when it comes to instinctual things, we do have a little bit of commonality amongst us.
That's not diverse. That's just in our DNA. We ain't about
Yeah, I don't think it's Biden was right at all.
we ain't about that bullshit. We all on ass.
Well, I think that's it, fellas. I think we had
Yep.
another good session. Hopefully, nothing else crazy will happen before that. I mean, it would be good for the podcast, but god dog, man.
Yeah, we need a break, man. 2020 got to chill, man.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I don't know. I'm very fortunate to live where I live at this point in time. I have to reiterate this because I think it's very important to give kudos to those who are in power in my state, in my district, because I look around the country and we're taking the first 9 weeks off of school off the top. It's probably going to end up being the whole year. They've already said in one district very close to where I live, they've already taken the first semester off and they're probably taking the whole year off. So I just feel very fortunate to live in Morrisville, North Carolina, work in Durham, where our governor is making conscientious decisions. The mayor is doing the same in my town. The superintendent. I feel very blessed because I look around the country and I can't believe it. It's like, really? I thought everybody was gonna do what we were doing. Y'all are really it's really worth the risk. I tell kids this all the time. I will go out on this note. I'm sorry for continuing to talk, but young people in life, always make sure the risk is worth the reward. If the risk ain't worth the reward, I tell my kids that all the time. That's one of the things I want them to stick in their craw. Before you make that decision, is the outcome going to be worth all that comes with it? And at this point in time, us being together, it would be cool, but it's not worth life. So y'all be safe out there. We'll see you next week, hopefully with some good news. It is what it is.
Peace.
Optics.
All right, optics. Hey, take care, fam.
Peace.